Hello dear participants, I welcome you all again in this certificate course on data interpretation using MS Excel and SPSS. In the previous few lectures, we have seen that how can we construct different types of the tables and different types of the graphs for different types of the variables. Moreover, we have seen that how can we read and interpret these tables and graphs. Now we are entering into the third part of the descriptive statistics, and that is numerical methods. Here also we have designed our lectures into two different segments. In a very first segment, we'll start with the process. Process of what? Process to give numerical treatment on our data using MS Excel and SPSS. And then once we are having results with us, then we'll go for the reading and interpretation part. Interpretation of those results. So let me start with the process here in the lecture number 17. The title of lecture 17 is Descriptive Statistics, Numerical Treatment in MS Excel and SPSS. Objective of this lecture is to demonstrate you numerical treatment of descriptive statistics using MS Excel and SPSS. But before starting this lecture, first we need to understand that what is numerical method or what are the different numerical methods that we'll be dealing with here in this lecture. As we all know that descriptive statistics, it includes three things. First is tabulation, second is graph, and third is numerical methods. So table and graph we already have covered, and we are starting the numerical methods. So these are the methods which gives us some value, and which value says something about our data. The meaning part we'll see in the separate lectures. Here in this lecture we'll be only talking about the process. So these numerical methods here in the descriptive statistics are further classified into four different parts. The first is measures of central tendency, which includes arithmetic mean, median, mode. There are few more concepts are there in the central tendencies. Second is partition value. It includes quartiles, deciles and percentiles. Then third category is measures of dispersion. It includes range, quartile deviation, mean deviation, standard deviation and variance. And the fourth part is distribution of data. It includes skewness and kurtosis. So all they are different concepts, different methods, different terminologies which are actually associated with only descriptive statistics. And descriptive statistics means they describe something. All these numerical methods will give us some value, and that value speaks about our data. And what exactly that value speaks about, that we'll see when we'll go to the separate lecture where we'll be dealing with the reading and interpretation of the result. Now here in this lecture, we'll just see that what is the process to give all these numerical treatments on our data. So let me start with the process here. First, we'll go in the space that MS Excel, and we'll try to understand that what is the process to give numerical treatment using MS Excel. Fine. So here in the MS Excel, again we'll see that how can we give numerical treatment for central tendency, then partition values, dispersion and distribution. The meaning of all these concepts, we'll see in the separate lectures in few upcoming lectures. Let me first explain you the process. Once we are having the results with us, then we'll go to the meaning of all these concepts, and then we'll go for the reading and interpretation part. Fine. So let me open a sample worksheet. This sample worksheet will be shared with you. So it will be my request to all of you that please download it and practice it. Fine. Now here is our MS Excel sheet. Now what I'll do, I'll go to the end of this data. So I'll just scroll down here, and as I scroll down here at the end, we are having 100 respondents, And here I have arranged all those numerical methods. So here is central tendency, and it includes mean, median, mode, partition value, quartile, decile, percentile, and so on and so forth. All the numerical methods I have mentioned here. All these variables, gender is actually associated with this column, gender C is associated with this column, and we are going to compute that particular numerical thing here in these cells, in those respective cells. So this is the way that we are going now. Fine. So let me start with first central tendency. First we'll start with, and then we'll go to the next classification of the numerical method in descriptive statistics. So let me start with the central tendency. Now, how to compute mean? Again, mean is a kind of a concept, one numerical method, simply. Now, what is the meaning of arithmetic mean? What is the meaning of median? What is the meaning of mode? That we'll see in the upcoming lectures, not now. Here in this lecture, we'll just explain you what is the process, how to get some number here. Fine. And for that, let me go ahead. To get the mean, here in the MS Excel, some formulas are there. They are inbuilt. They are already there in the MS Excel. We simply have to use those formulas. And here for mean also we are having the formula, and that the name of that formula is average. So simply what I'll do, I'll click on this cell. I'll click on this cell and I'll give equal to sign, and then I'll start typing that formula or function, and the name of that function is average, average. Some of the functions you will have to remember. Fine. So average, as I'm typing here, that the function appears. So I'll simply click on average. Once I click on average, what would be the next step? Once you type this, then simply just select that particular variable for which actually you wish to compute mean. So this is B2 to B101. So here is B101, that row, correct? And this is actually B. Fine. So B2 to B, this cell is B101, and the starting cell would be B2. Fine. So once I have selected the range, then simply I'll press enter. As I press enter, I'll get the result. Now here one can say that, sir, we haven't got any number. There are some reasons for that. And what are those reasons? That also we'll discuss in the next lecture. I'll just highlight you here that this is a string variable. All the responses are in the words, so that we are not getting here any value. And here is a error message. Fine. So in more deep explanation, that will explain you, that will discuss in the upcoming few lectures. Fine. Now let me go to the next variable. Now how to compute mean for this? How to compute mean for satisfaction? How to compute mean for all these variables? Now the next part is easy. Once I have used a formula here in this cell, simply I'll go here and I'll go to this corner and I'll just drag this to the end. As I drag to this end, simply I have computed arithmetic mean, or the average for all my data. So here I'm having the different numbers. Now one can observe that there are two error messages. And why there are error messages? Because both the variables are actually in words, they are string, and all other variables we are having some value. Now how to give meaning to this value, how to read this, that part we'll see in the upcoming lecture. Here we have seen that how can we means compute average. Now if I go further, if I click on this cell, you can see that here the function appears is average is equal to average, and in bracket what is the range? F2 to F101. So here is 101, here is F101. Fine. So as I drag it to the end, automatically this function is applied for all these different variables. So this is the way, in a simple way, that we can compute mean for all my variables. Fine. Now let me go ahead. If I click on the other cell here in the income, again the function remains same, my formula remains same, only the range been changed. Fine. Now let me go to the median. How to compute median? For that, now here I have mentioned the formula name average for your reference. Fine. But before that you will have to put equal to sign and then to select the range. Then and then only we can get the output or the result for mean. Then simply I'll go to mean, median, and here how to compute median? Simply I'll click here again equal to sign and I'll type median. I'll double click on this. Then I'll select the range. Once I have selected the range, I'll press enter. What is the function or what is formula here? Median. Fine. So I'll enter. As I press enter, again a error message comes. Now we'll talk on this later, little later. Now here, if I go to the corner and if I drag this to the end, I get the median values for all my variables. And what would be the formula? The formula name is MEDIAN, all capital letters. Now how to compute mode? Simply I'll go here, equal to sign, I'll start typing MOD. So it appears here, I'll simply double click on it. I'll select the range. Once I have selected the range, I'll press enter and I have got the mode. Here also again we have got the error message. So again I'll go here to this cell, I go to this corner and I'll just drag this to the end. As I drag this to the end, I got the mode value, the result for mode for all my variables. Fine. So this is the way that we can compute central tendency. Central tendency is one of the numerical method in descriptive statistics. So this is the way that we compute mean, median, mode for my different variables here in the MS Excel. We are working here in the MS Excel only. Fine. Now let me go to the partition value. So there are different three concepts here: quartiles, deciles and percentiles. Now what are quartiles, what are deciles and what are percentiles? Let me briefly explain you. If I am having data like this and if I just make four equal parts, then this would be the first quartile, this would be the second and this would be the third quartile. And there are four parts, 1, 2, 3, 4 and they are equal. If I make 10 different equal parts, 10 different parts, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and say that 10. And suppose they all are equal, then they are deciles. Fine. And if I make equal 100 parts, 1, 2 and so on so forth, 99 and 100. So that positioned value at that position in quartile 3, fine, or on this 92nd value, which value is present there? That would be kind of percentage. For more meaning, when we'll be dealing with the results and reading and interpretation part, there I'll explain you that what actually all this means quartile 1, 2, 3 that means and what is deciles and percentiles. Fine. So here we'll just focus on the process. Now let me go to the MS Excel and here what I'll do for the quartiles, I'll type is equal to QUARTILE. So double click, I'll select the range. Now here is one more interesting thing. There are some functions where means it is not like that we have typed the functions and just select the data and just press enter. No, there are few functions where we have to add something more. Here in the quartile, once you have selected this, you will have to mention which quartile actually you want to compute. As I mentioned in the earlier slide, there are three quartiles, one quartile, second and third. Whichever quartile actually you wish to compute from this data, you will have to mention here. So what I'll do, I'll mention here giving comma, I'll mention 1. 1 means I just want to compute first quartile from this data and I'll press enter. Again error message comes because this is a string data, alphabetical kind of variable, that one is. Simply I'll go to corner and I'll just drag it to the end. As I drag it to the end, I've got the quartile 1 for all my variables. Fine. So what is the formula name here? Quartile, comma, you can put 1 or 2 or 3, any one number you can use. Let me take you to the decile. How to compute decile? Simple, is equal to, though the partition value is decile, we are going to use the percentile formula. Simply I'll type percentile and I'll double click, I'll select the data, and as I select the data, once I selected the data, then decile means we are having 10 equal parts, but out of those 10 equal parts, which part or which particular location value that actually you want to compute, that is second. Means all this data is arranged in kind of ascending or descending order, and just I want the second positioned value, then I'll have to just 2 divided by 10. If I want to compute the fourth value, then 4 divided by 10. From the 10th, I just want the fourth location value. So this is the way that it goes. Percentile is equal to range, comma 2 divided by 10. So again I'll get the error value because here is alphabetical thing. Fine, string variable. So I'll simply go here to this corner and I'll drag it to the end, and I'll get the decile value. Fine, for the second position. I can use any other number also, less than 10. Then let me go to the percentile. Here again I'll just use the same function. Percentile is equal to percentile, in bracket I have selected a range, comma 92nd value I just want to find here. I want to compute here, divided by 100. I'll press enter. Again error message because that all the responses there are in the alphabetical kind of thing. So I'll just drag it to the end and I got the percentile. Fine, 92nd value for each and every variable been mentioned here. Each and every variable it is mentioned here. So this is the way that we compute partitional values. Fine. Now let me take you to the dispersion value. Here again there are few concepts like max, mean, range, quartile deviation, standard deviation. In the previous few lectures somewhere we have used max and mean. They are nothing but the maximum number from your data or minimum number from your data. We'll discuss on all these terminologies in the separate those respective lectures, but here we'll just explain you the process. How can we compute all these concepts from the dispersions? For max, again equal to sign, and max is the function name. Then I'll select the range and I'll press enter. I got some number. Fine. Why I'm getting 0, that also we'll discuss in the separate lecture. Now simply I'll go here to compute max for all other variables and I'll just drag it to the end, and the formula name is max. For mean, equal to sign mean, I'll select the range. Again I'll go to corner and I'll drag it to the end. The same formula is now applied for the all other variables, and this is the formula name. Then for range, we need to have max and min values. If you are not having max and min value, we cannot compute range. Now there are some formulas in MS Excel, like we are having mean, median, mode, or max and min. For all them we are having formula. Using those formulas or using these numbers, we can generate our own formula. I repeat, using few concepts we can construct our own formula. For example, for range there is no formula, inbuilt formula is not there in MS Excel. So what I'll do, I'll simply just click and I'll just, the formula for range is max minus min. Now I have already computed max and min, all they are max and min, max and min, max and min. So what I'll do, I'll just simply give equal to sign. I'll just first click on this cell. Then once the 68 is here, then I'll put minus sign and then I'll click on this cell 14 and I'll press enter. I'll get the range. Fine. So using these numbers, we can generate our own formula also. But for that we need to know the meaning of range. Fine. Now let me go ahead. Simply what I'll do, I'll give equal to sign here. And what I did here, first I clicked on this cell, and this first cell is B115 minus I clicked on this other cell, and this is B116. Then I press enter. I got the range. Then I'll drag the same formula here for all my variables. I got the range value for all my variables. Now what is the meaning of all these numbers? That we'll discuss in the further lectures. Now what is the formula? Max minus min. Now let me take you to the quartile deviation. To compute quartile deviation, see the formula, statistical formula. If you go to books, quartile deviation is one kind of concept, and the formula for this is Q3 minus Q1 divided by 2. Now Q3, Q1, what are they? That we have seen here in the quartile, how to compute quartile. First, we'll have to compute Q3, then we'll have to compute Q1, then we'll have to arrange it in such a manner that will get the quartile deviation, this thing. Fine. So how to do that? Let me explain it. For that, I'll simply go here and I'll add two rows. One is quartile 3 and other is quartile 1. Fine. Now let me go ahead. To compute quartile 3, simply I'll give equal to sign quartile. I'll select the range. Sorry. Fine. First, I'll give this function here equal to sign quartile. I'll select the range, comma 3, because I just want to know my Q3 for all these variables. So if I go further, if I press enter, I got the Q3. Again, here is error message. Simply I'll go to the corner of this and I'll just select all these cells. The same formula, same function been applied for all these cells for those respective variables. I have got the Q3 for all these variables. Now for Q1, same thing is equal to quartile. I have selected range, and now here instead of 3, I have placed the value 1 because I just want to compute Q1. Correct. Now if I press enter, again error message because this variable is actually alphabetical variable. Fine. So simply I'll go here and I'll just drag it to the end. The same formula been applied for all other variables, and I have got the Q1. Now I have got Q3 and Q1 for all variables. For all variables we have got Q3 and Q1. Now I'll go for the quartile deviation. How to compute quartile deviation? For that I'll give equal to sign, and if you see here, this B118 means this thing, that is Q3 for that respective variable, and this minus B119 means this cell. I have simply clicked on this cell and this is Q1. So Q3 minus Q1 divided by 2, that thing I have typed here. Fine. Equal to sign, just click on this cell, minus sign, then click on this cell, divided by 2 that I have typed, and simply I'll press enter. As I press enter, I get the quartile deviation for that particular variable. Now here the error message comes because this is a column which is associated with the string kind of responses, all alphabetical. So for all alphabets we don't get any value, we get error message. Fine. Now if I simply go to this cell and if I just drag it to the end, I got quartile deviation for all other variables. Fine. And what's the formula? Q3 minus Q1 divided by 2. So we have seen two formulas, range and for quartile deviation. We'll have to construct our own formula. Fine. Raw formulas are here. Fine. The required things are max, min, and they are available in the MS Excel. But for range, there is no separate formula. For quartile deviation, there is no separate formula. We have to construct our own formula function there, and for that we need to know the formula for that particular concept. So there are some terminologies, there are some concepts for which we need to construct our own formula. Fine. Now let me take you to the standard deviation. Standard deviation is one of the very important concept in statistics. Fine. Now here what would be the formula? Is equal to STDEV. That's the formula, STDEV. Now someone can say that, sir, there are many formulas, then how can we go? Because is it really necessary to remember all these formulas? See, the things are, there are few formulas that you need to remember, and on the basis of that you can simply go ahead. If you go to SPSS, even there you need not to remember the formulas, because there we are simply going to click on the things. Here, if you are working with the MS Excel, if we are not having SPSS with us, then we need to remember few things with us. Fine. So here is equal to sign stdev, then I'll select the range and I'll just simply press on enter. As I press on enter, I got error message. Again the same reason, string variable. I'll simply go to the corner of this and I'll drag this to the end. I have got standard deviation for all my variables. So this is the way that we go with the dispersion. Now let me go to the distribution value. Distribution value more specifically in the descriptive statistics only. Fine. In descriptive statistics, how we show the distribution of our data. So that is skewness and kurtosis. Again, the meaning part we'll see in the separate lectures. The process part, yes, we are going to see here. We are going to understand here. Is equal to sign, skew is the formula, and you select the range, enter, you got the result. Simply I'll drag this to the end. I got the skewness value for all my variables. Kurtosis, same thing, is equal to KURT. Double click, I'll select the data, I'll enter, and I'll just drag it to the end. I got the kurtosis value for all my variables. Fine. So this is the way that we get the values for these different numerical methods. All these different numerical methods are actually associated with descriptive statistics. Fine. And all these numbers are having their own meaning. All these numbers are having their own meaning. What does that mean? How to read this? How to interpret this? That we'll see in the separate lecture. Now there is one other shortcut method in MS Excel using data analysis. And if you remember that data analysis is one of the important tool available in MS Excel. Now how to compute descriptive statistics, how to give numerical treatment using data analysis, let's see. For that, simply I have opened my MS Excel sheet. Now what I'll do, I'll go to data, I'll simply click on data, and here is my data analysis. If data analysis is not here, how to how to activate this thing, that also I have explained in somewhere in the previous lecture. So simply I'll click on data analysis. Now a new pop-up window comes. Here you will find that there is a descriptive statistics. That thing is there, and we are working with descriptive statistics, correct? So simply I'll click on descriptive statistics and I'll click on OK. A new window comes. Here they are asking us to just select the range. Range means the whole data, the data on which you actually want to compute descriptive statistics. So what I'll do, I'll simply click on this, and here I'm going to commit one mistake. What type of mistake? I'm going to respond, I'm going to just select all my data. All my data I'm going to select. Now let me select all my data. Once I select my data, I have selected this, and here always remember, if in Excel, if your labels are in first row, if your variable names are in first row, always click this, labels in first row. If you have selected your data from this row, then there is no need to click here. Fine, we have selected from the first thing. That is why here I have selected that box. And then if I go further, again output range, I'll click on this and I'll select any cell where actually I want my result. So I have selected this cell, and we have to click here summary statistics. This is very necessary. If you don't click here on the summary statistics, we are not going to get the proper results. Fine. Summary statistics, I simply click on OK. As I click on OK, a new message appears. Descriptive statistics. See, input range contains non-numeric data. Non-numeric. It is saying that you are having some non-numeric data. Some non-numeric data is there. Which non-numeric data is there? This whole this thing. Whole this thing. And if you remember, as I mentioned in earlier lectures, If we are having non-numeric things with us, we cannot apply descriptive statistics, or the further statistics we cannot give treatment on that. Yes, so far the frequency tables are concerned, so far the bar chart are concerned, that's fine, we can go with this in some way. But when we are going for the numerical methods, then it is really difficult. Even in the MS Excel and in SPSS also, we cannot give treatment on such type of data. And for that, what we do, then simply I'll go further, and what I'll do now this time, I'll just skip this part. Gender and satisfaction, I'll not select this. Remaining things I'll select from this, suppose. Then again I'll simply go here, I'll select the range, again the same things, and then I'll click on OK. Avoiding these non-numerical variables, if I go ahead and if I press OK, I got the results. Fine. So this is more simple than the previous method where we use the formulas. Fine. Now let me take you to the further slide. Now here is a comparison. So here is the data analysis result. Fine. And here is the MS Excel result using different formulas. Here we have had typed the formulas. Is there any difference between these two? Results are same. You go using any method, you can go using any method, results are same. If I consider here age 36.92, here for age the mean is 36.92, this mean, right? Now let me go to standard deviation. How much is the standard deviation? 12.19. Where is standard deviation? Here it is 12.19. Go to any value, go to any variable, go to any variable here also, and just see whether the numbers are same. Yes, numbers are same. There are some minor kind of minor, very minor, minute. For example, here is skewness is 0.99. Fine. Here it is 0.99. Fine. Here actually in MS Excel we'll get the exact result. If we go to SPSS, here instead of 0.09 we can get 0.1. 0.99, it is almost 0.1. No problem in that. Fine. So what is that? What I mean to say, that we'll see when we'll go to the SPSS result. Now let me take you further. Here, so far MS Excel is concerned, if you are using the formulas, typed formulas, or if you are going with data analysis, you are going to get the same, exactly same result. There won't be any change. There won't be any change. There might be change in the SPSS result and MS Excel, but that change is not big. Means a very minute change may happen there, but you can use any result. You can use any result. Both the results are authentic. Now let me take you to the SPSS now. How can we give numerical treatment using SPSS? For that, again, here is our empty sheet. So simply I'll go to file, I'll go to open data, then I'll select my file. Suppose I select this, I'll click on open, then I'll press OK. This all process we all are familiar with. Fine. Then simply I'll go to variable view, I'll define all my variables. I have defined my variables. Then I'll again go back to data view. Now my data is ready for the treatment. Now what is the process to give descriptive, that numerical treatment? For that, I'll go to analyze, and in that descriptive statistics, and here is the frequencies. I'll just simply click on the frequencies. Now here is the variable list. Now what I'll do, I'll select few variables. For example, if I select these variables, why more specifically these variables we have selected? Because the two are nominal, among which one is a string, one is in numbers, but both are nominal. Then these two are ordinal. This age is a scale, and this age of respondent is actually scale, but it is categorized so that we name it ordinal. So I'll select all these and let's see what would be the result. So simply I'll click on here and all these variables are here. Now what would be the next step? Next step is to click on statistics. Here is statistics. As if you remember that if we click on charts, we'll go to the chart, that pop-up window. Now here we'll have to click here on the statistics. Now here we can click on the appropriate numerical method which actually we wish to compute. So here what I'll do, I'll just click on mean, median, mode, and most possibly means most of the things I'll select, because all they are the part of the numerical methods of descriptive statistics. And simply I'll click on continue, and I'll just deselect this display frequency tables, because frequency tables we already have seen. Fine. Now I'll just simply click on OK. I get the result in my output window. How many minutes it has taken? For process, it takes merely few seconds. If you know that where to go and where to click, it is simple. So the process is simple. Now when we come to the table, how to give meaning to this? Why there is no result? Why there is no result for this? Why there is no result for this? How to give meaning to this? How to give meaning to this? Each and every number speaks something about your data. How to read this and how to interpret this, that will see in the upcoming lectures. Now in this lecture, I'll just highlight you the process. So this is the way that we compute descriptive statistics in S.P.S.S. There is one other way also, fine. And what is that different way? Again, it is the same process is same, and there is one more location from where we can compute descriptive statistics, and that thing is there in analyze. Again, descriptive statistics, instead of frequency, if we go to descriptive, that is also fine, it will give you same result. So I'll click on descriptives, and here one interesting thing, you can see that here we have got all the variables, not all the variables, this gender and this satisfaction, which are in alphabetical responses, these variables are not included here, they are automatically omitted, they are not here. Why? By default they are not here, because when we click on the descriptive statistics, that part, which part, let me go back and let me show you that thing. Just a second. Fine. Here, if I go to the frequencies, then it will include all these variables, even though they are alphabetical. But if I click on this, I'll means SPSS will show me only the variables which are in the numbers, which are numeric. Fine. So this is the way it works. So simply I'll go to descriptive. It has given me the variable names. I'll select one nominal, one ordinal scale, and scale converted into ordinal. So I'll simply click here, then I'll go to options. I'll click on options. Here are few options with me, and they are limited. If we go to the frequencies, there we find few 2-3 more numerical methods. Here is a limitation. Here we are not finding median or mode is not there. Those are also the concept from the measures of central tendency. So here I am having some limited numerical methods. I'll simply click on most of all, and then I'll click on continue, and then I'll click on OK. I got the result. See, my result is here from the descriptive, that thing. Fine. And now if I compare both the results, the previous result with this result, is there any difference? Using different methods you can compute descriptive statistics, but your results are same. Simply if I go to age, here a mean is 36.94, here the mean, here it is mean, and here is your age. Fine, it is hidden here actually, this is age. So 36.92, 12.19, that is the standard deviation. This is again the same value, 0.100, skewness is same. Again, this is simply the process. I just wanted to highlight here that using what process will get the results. So here are the results. Now what is the meaning, what is the meaning of each of this value, that we'll see in the upcoming lectures. Fine. Now let me take you to the further slide, and this is a very important slide. If I compare the results from MS Excel and SPSS, are they same? Let me check here. If here are the results, MS Excel results and SPSS results. Now if I compare both the things, here for age, your mean is 36.94, and here is the output from the statistics, it is again 36.94. No problem, no problem. Range, how much is the range? 54. Where is the range here? Here is the range, and that is 54. no issue with that. Standard deviation 12.19, 12.919, it is here standard deviation. Now very interesting thing, skewness point 0.099. Now let me check here skewness. Here how much it is? 0.100, 0.099 and zero point 0.1. It means 0.10. They are, means there is no big difference. There is very minor difference, and that actually means I just told, means I explained this thing when we were comparing the MS Excel result with the data analysis, that result. Fine. So when we go with the SPSS result and MS Excel result, they are same, they are almost same, and even if there is a minute difference, that difference is not significant. We can accept both the results, no problem. You can go with this value or you can go with this value, it will lead you to the same conclusion. There will be no big difference in that. Fine. So you can go to any other variable and you can find that all the numbers are fine, they are same. Now this is the way that we compute descriptive statistics. In the next lecture, we'll go to central tendency first. First, we'll try to understand that mean, median, mode, the meaning of all these three concepts, and how to read and give, how to read and how to interpret these values. Then we'll go to the partition value, then we'll go to the dispersion, and then we'll go to the distribution. Fine, that way we'll arrange our lectures. So let me take you to the further slide. So this slide more specifically been taken from the week 1, and in week 1 we have seen that when we are applying descriptive statistics for nominal, we use different concepts, for ordinal we use different concepts, and for scale we use different concepts. All these concepts we have just seen that how to give statistical treatment, this numerical treatment on the data. That process part we have seen in this lecture. How to read and how to interpret this, what is the meaning of all these concepts, that part will soon start in the next lecture. The same thing here using categorical and numerical classification. Fine. So all these methods, descriptive numerical methods, we have seen that the treatment part, the process part. So for this lecture is concerned, we'll stop here. Soon we'll meet in the next lecture, and in that lecture we'll start with the central tendency, meaning first, and then reading and interpretation of the output. Till then, thank you for your kind listening. Thank you.